start of an apocalypse that would sweep the entire world. My name is Alice.
Survivors followed a radio signal to Alaska.
This is Arcadia, broadcasting on the emergency frequency. We offer safety and security.
When Resident Evil Afterlife hit theaters in 2010, it arrived as the fourth thrilling chapter in the long-running cinematic adaptation of Capcom's beloved survival horror video game franchise. Directed by Paul W. Anderson, who returned to the director's chair after helming the original 2002 film, this installment marked a fresh new phase in the Resident Evil saga, bigger, bolder, and more visually ambitious than ever before. It carried forward the story of Alice, the fearless heroine portrayed by Milla Jovovich, as she continued her relentless battle against the sinister Umbrella Corporation and the global T-virus outbreak that had transformed the world into a desolate wasteland crawling with the undead. From its opening moments, Resident Evil Afterlife presented itself as a spectacle of style and intensity, embracing the possibilities of 3D filmmaking to deliver an action horror experience that felt larger than life. Shot using the same groundbreaking 3D camera technology developed for James Cameron's Avatar, the film immersed viewers into a world where every gunshot, explosion, and blade slash felt more immediate and visceral. This technological leap added an extra dimension of excitement and tension to the series, giving fans a new way to experience the apocalyptic chaos that defined the Resident Evil universe. The story picked up where the previous film, Resident Evil Extinction, left off with Alice on a mission to take down the Umbrella Corporation once and for all. She began her assault in Tokyo, where Umbrella's underground facility became the stage for one of the most visually stunning opening sequences in the entire series. The Tokyo confrontation set the tone for the film's blend of slow-motion combat, sharp choreography, and surreal visuals, all accompanied by a pounding electronic score that heightened the atmosphere of danger and determination. After this explosive beginning, Alice set out to find survivors, seeking a rumored safe haven known as Arcadia. Along the way, she discovered that the world had fallen even deeper into ruined cities, abandoned, survivors scattered, and the infected evolving into new, more dangerous forms. The once proud civilization now stood as a haunting reflection of Umbrella's experiments gone horribly wrong. Amid this bleakness, Alice's journey symbolized hope and defiance as she continued to fight not only for survival, but also for the restoration of humanity itself. Milla Jovovich once again carried the film with her magnetic presence, effortlessly blending strength, vulnerability, and intensity. By this point, her portrayal of Alice had become iconic, a figure of resistance in a shattered world. Her calm confidence in the face of overwhelming odds gave audiences a hero to root for, while her physical performance, from the acrobatic fight scenes to the emotional confrontations, reflected the evolution of both the character and the actress. The supporting cast added new layers to the ongoing saga. Larter returned as Claire Redfield, reprising her role from Resident Evil Extinction. Her partnership with Alice formed the emotional backbone of the story, as both women embodied survival, courage, and leadership in a world overrun by death. Wentworth Miller joined the series as Chris Redfield, a beloved character from the video game series, making his long-awaited cinematic debut. His appearance deepened the connection between the film franchise and its gaming roots, delighting longtime fans with a fresh dynamic among the survivors. The introduction of the Arcadia storyline brought an intriguing mystery to the narrative. The promise of a sanctuary untouched by infection drew both characters and viewers into a search for hope amid despair. But as the story unfolded, it became clear that even this apparent haven was tied to Umbrella's shadowy manipulations. The reveal that Arcadia was not a paradise, but another trap underscored one of the series' central themes that in a world controlled by corporations and corruption, even salvation comes with a price. Visually, Resident Evil Afterlife stood apart from its predecessors. The cold metallic interiors, rain-drenched ruins, and the eerie silence of deserted cityscapes gave the film a sleek, almost futuristic aesthetic. Anderson's direction emphasized symmetry, movement, and rhythm, turning each action sequence into a carefully composed visual experience. Whether it was Alice dodging bullets in slow motion, fighting hordes of infected in an abandoned prison, or facing off against the towering Axeman in a rain-soaked courtyard, every moment was crafted to deliver spectacle. The Axeman sequence in particular became one of the film's standout moments. With his massive hammer-axe weapon and monstrous design inspired by the video games, the Axeman represented the next evolution of Umbrella's bioweapons, brutal, unstoppable, and terrifying. The fight between Alice, Claire, and this towering creature was choreographed like a ballet of violence, blending beauty and brutality in equal measure. The scene's combination of slow-motion cinematography, rain effects, and choreographed movement elevated it beyond simple action, turning it into one of the franchise's most memorable battles. The soundtrack, composed by Tom and Dandy, infused the film with an industrial, electronic pulse that perfectly matched its tone. The heavy beats and mechanical rhythms created an immersive sense of tension and momentum, reflecting the relentless pace of Alice's journey. Each cue amplified the film's energy, especially during combat sequences, enhancing the overall cinematic impact. Resident Evil Afterlife also stood out for reintroducing familiar elements in new ways. The presence of the Umbrella Corporation's leader, Albert Wesker, played by Shawn Roberts, brought a sense of continuity and escalation to the conflict. Wesker's portrayal as a cold, calculating, and superhuman antagonist gave Alice her most formidable opponent yet. His enhanced abilities, drawn from the same viral experimentation that fueled Umbrella's power, created a mirror image of Alice herself, both products of the same dark science, but standing on opposite sides of morality. Their final confrontation became the centerpiece of the film's climax, combining emotional stakes with breathtaking visuals. Throughout the story, themes of control, identity, and evolution ran beneath the surface. Alice's struggle was not just against Umbrella, but also within herself, as someone whose humanity had been altered by the very virus she opposed. Her quest for purpose, her connection to others, and her willingness to fight for something greater than survival added emotional weight to the high-octane action. The balance between internal conflict and external chaos defined the tone of the film, allowing it to resonate beyond its spectacle. By the time the film reached its conclusion, it had set the stage for the next phase of the Resident Evil cinematic universe. The cliffhanger ending, featuring a massive confrontation on the Arcadia ship and the return of new threats, left audiences eager for more. It promised that Alice's war against Umbrella was far from over, and that the fight for humanity's future would continue. Resident Evil Afterlife's success at the box office reaffirmed the franchise's global popularity. Audiences were drawn to its unique mix of horror, science fiction, and action, as well as its commitment to delivering visually captivating experiences. The use of 3D technology, the strong female lead, and the constant reinvention of its world helped the film stand out in a crowded field of genre cinema. It became both a continuation of a beloved story and a technological milestone for the series. Beyond its action and effects, the film's atmosphere captured the essence of survival horror in a new cinematic language. It transformed the claustrophobic tension of the video games into grand cinematic spectacle, while keeping the emotional intensity intact. The idea that humanity's greatest enemy might be its own creations, its corporations, its experiments, its hunger for power, remained at the heart of the narrative. Through Alice's journey, the film explored resilience, rebellion, and the unyielding human spirit amid overwhelming darkness. Even years later, Resident Evil Afterlife remains one of the franchise's defining entries, a turning point where style and substance collided to deliver a new kind of horror action experience. Its visual energy, iconic moments, and technological ambition helped shape not only the rest of the Resident Evil films, but also inspired a new wave of cinematic approaches to game adaptations. It stood as proof that, even in a world overrun by the undead, there's always room for reinvention and evolution. The film's legacy endures as a key chapter in the continuing saga of Alice and her war against Umbrella. It bridged the earlier, grittier survival-focused tone with the more expansive, action-driven style that followed. Each scene, from the Tokyo showdown to the rain-soaked prison escape, added to the mythos of a world forever changed by human arrogance and viral devastation. In the end, Resident Evil Afterlife captured what made the franchise endure, a relentless pursuit of survival, wrapped in a vision of a broken world still worth fighting for. The combination of cutting-edge technology, committed performances, and the relentless energy of its direction gave the film its lasting power. It wasn't just another zombie movie, it was a full-scale cinematic event that dared to expand the limits of its genre. Whether viewed as an adrenaline-charged action film or as part of a long-running horror saga, it remains a striking testament to how the Resident Evil universe continues to evolve, adapt, and thrill audiences across generations.